So the Amazing Digital Circus. So like I saw the little jester person whose name I now forget, but I didn't really know what this was. And I know like Saber did a video and all this stuff, just was like, didn't know about it. And then I clicked on the thing today because people were like, you should really talk about this thing. I was like, I was aware there was a thing. I didn't really know, It was Pomni. So I saw it had like 300 million views, which I was shocked by. Not that like something can do that without me hearing about it. It's the internet now. It can totally happen. I was surprised it's so successful. I think it's even bigger than Has Been Hotel and all that stuff. Maybe I'm wrong view-wise, but it feels like that. Well, okay, when watching it, it's pretty clear this isn't necessarily for me or my thing. Doesn't mean it's bad. I'm not upset and going to like go on a rant about how kids today or something. But I do think it has some interesting ideas. It is very frantic. It sort of reminds me of the same, like, I don't think it's like influenced by Has Been or something like that, but I can see the same person being into that, being into this. Sort of anime influence in terms of writing and jokes and stuff like that. Well, the whole idea is basically, this person, Pomni, wakes up in this digital world, and they introduce everything, and wakes up in this world, and they know they put on a digital headset, but you don't understand who they were before it, you don't understand what the real world is, and you know nothing about who this person is before this. Now, at first, I don't love that, because the thing with that is, like, you look at, let's say, a Wizard of Oz or Star Wars, or, you have this character, you establish the reality, you establish their world, and then you take them into this crazy world, but you know who Dorothy is, you know who Luke Skywalker is, you know who whomever is, person, then put in a crazy world, Jennifer Connelly in Labyrinth, whichever. It's a thing. I used kind of that basic structure. So part of me is like, I don't love that element of it, because it feels like, I'm not sure if like they have an idea and there's like a larger thing, or they just wrote this bad, because it doesn't come off as like they fully, like what Pomni, most of what we know about this character is she is stuck here, she wants to get out, and it's a new world. But like, I couldn't tell you much about her other than she's stuck there. Which is like, you look at something like Cube, let's say. In Cube, you sort of know things about them personality-wise beyond that. And that was like kind of a thing that I thought that held it back, because it's more about like character design and craziness, and fine, like that's fine. Like I think it sort of works in that, especially the guy with the teeth with the eyes in it and shit. Like that's cool, but it did feel like storytelling wise, I'm already like, there's not much, like I feel like the character designs are doing more to differentiate the characters than the actual writing a lot of the times, because like I couldn't tell you much about these people other than their design. Like that's how I remember them. And I was like, other than the guy with the eyes in his teeth and shit, like I get who that guy is, but everybody else, I'm like, I don't know. It's like Raggedy Ann girl. Who is she? She's Raggedy Ann girl. I think there should be more to the writing. Now, this is a pilot. They have more episodes. Maybe they will expand upon that, and I'm wrong. But I did find it interesting going into like a digital... Like, I was like, why does this look like a 90s video game? That's the point. But at the same point, I was like, well, how do these people know it's a 90s video game? Like, what is their context for it? So it's like larger writing things that I hope they expand upon. But if it's just them going from adventure to adventure to adventure, I think it probably plays a little more shallow than I expected. As indie animation, as someone like breaking the system and doing a YouTube thing, that is amazing. And I hope them all the success in the world, at least financially and view-wise. In terms of me being interested in this, I not really. I'm like, okay. Previously I did like some of like, Has Been and other stuff. I was never that into it, so I felt disingenuous, and I don't really want to do that again with another cartoon. So I don't know if I'd come back to this, but I think it's cool that people are into an indie thing. I just don't think couldn't tell you much about the characters. And I think that kind of hurts it, because it feels like it wants to be character driven, but it's honestly just more art driven, to be honest, which is cool in a sense. And I get like if you're into animation and like hot topic-y stuff. You'd like that, but I just don't think it has much to offer writing wise. And I think these things, like even Has-Been, I could tell you things about those characters. Like I'm not against it. I'm just not super into it. But I could tell you they were different characters writing wise. And I don't feel that way with this. So I think like as it goes on, maybe they will develop that further. If I was them, I would work more on differentiating and like telling them like what is a thing about each one other than like this guy's sort of sarcastic, this girl is digitally weird. Happy for that production. It seems like it's cool that they're doing their own indie thing. I wish them the best. I just wasn't super into